stresses working hard, being a good teammate, and always striving to do your best. While his teams play to win, the pursuit of victory never trifles the importance he places on being a good sport and displaying grace in both wins and losses. Respected and admired by parents, loved by players, and cherished by the Moberly Parks and Recreation Department staff for his positive influence on young lives, he is a model youth sports coach and valued member of the community. Congratulations to Tim Price, the 2020 Mays Volunteer Coach of the Year.
Hello, I am Kate Nematalahi, Director of Education Programs for the National Alliance for Youth Sports. I am here with Tim Price, our annual Nays Coach of the Year Award winner. As you saw in our highlight video, Tim is a longtime youth softball coach in Moberly, Missouri. Welcome, Tim.
Welcome. Thank you.
First, Tim, on behalf of the National Alliance for Youth Sports, congratulations on being named the Nays Coach of the Year.
Thank you.
So you've been coaching for over 30 years. What made you first decide to start coaching?
I think I actually coached my little brothers whenever I was just out of high school, and then from there I went to my daughter and just kept going after that.
What is it that you love about coaching kids?
The players showing their confidence and watching them grow in their abilities and take on life like they should.
You were nominated actually by a lot of your former players and other members of the community. What does it mean to you to be nominated for a Coach of the Year award, and what does it mean to win?
Well, it means a lot that they took the time to nominate and even consider me to do it. To win, well, that's quite an honor, and I need to keep myself humble and appreciative of all the effort everybody put in.
We actually heard that in softball, when you're coaching, that the players say that you put sportsmanship and teamwork and integrity ahead of winning. Why would you say that sportsmanship is important to you, and then how do you do that in practice as a coach?
Playing sports is just like life. You take what you have, you do the best with it, and you roll with the punches and go right on. So that's what I want them to learn, is even though if things aren't fair, just go on and everything will take care of itself in the long run. Be good.
And sometimes you're working with young athletes, they still get upset about losing or they get caught up in the game. What do you do in situations like that with your players?
Just like I guess I just said, it's just part of life. We learn from our experiences and we learn how to not make the same mistakes over and over. So anyway, it's just part of life, and all sports need to be fun. If they're not fun, it's not enjoyable. So let's do things that are enjoyable.
Would you say that you model your coaching style after anyone? Maybe there was a role model that you had as a young athlete, or maybe a professional coach that you like to emulate?
I really can't say that I do. I guess I base it on how I remember when I was growing up as a child, and we lived in the country and I couldn't play sports because we couldn't participate. We had chores to do. So when we finally moved into town and I was ready to try to play sports, I was behind everybody else and a little disappointed in that. So I want to give everybody the chance to do the best they can.
Do you have any favorite memories from coaching over the years that stand out to you? Any memories of working with kids that make it all worthwhile?
I think I have probably 20 or 30 memories of every year that make very enjoyable. So I couldn't even pick one that would stand out to me. There are several. And each time I see a child from 20 years ago or 15 years ago or 10 years ago, and they still have those memories, that makes it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. What would be your advice to a first-time coach who's just getting out there and hasn't worked with kids? If you had a minute or two to share your advice for new coaches, what would it be?
Well, I think this question might be a fairly easy one. My philosophy has been treat every athlete or child on your team as if they're your child, and treat every parent as if they're your family. And you find that you look at things a little differently when you center yourself around them to treat them like family. So hopefully if you treat your family good, that works. I guess if you don't, that's not the way you should be.
Any other tips for working with the parents of the young athletes?
Keep open-minded. They're worried about their children, their child, and that's what's the most important to them. And you need to keep that in mind when you're coaching them, the child. The parents pay attention to you, but 99% is what goes on in that child's life. So everything, all the other children out there, they see them, but they only focus on their own child. And so you need to keep that in perspective as they discuss things with you.
Open communication with parents is definitely valued by the families. How do you go about creating your practice plans? I mean, over 30 years, I'm sure you've had a lot of different drills. How do you make a fun and engaging practice for your young softball players?
How do I make it fun? Is that what you said? I plan every practice. I think probably my wife and some others think I spend way too much time on it, but every practice is pre-planned, laid out, and we move from one thing to another so that the kids don't get bored. And if they get bored, we go to another thing. And if that doesn't work, we quit. We pick back up when we're ready to do it again. It's got to be fun.
We also learned that you are the organizer of a local softball tournament, and that's something that you've put a lot of your time and effort into it. How did that come about, and what are some of the benefits to the community that you feel that softball tournament is bringing?
Well, that I have to thank the Moberly Parks and Rec for helping out with that and allowing us to use the facility. And but we have a nice facility. We have a great community. We may as well use it and let others know about it, and hopefully let it grow each year. I can't remember. We've been doing it 6 or 7 years. Last year is the first year that we didn't do it because of the virus. And so far up to that point, it had grown in teams to where we're almost maxed out. And hopefully this next year we'll do that.
That's great. I know you're providing a great experience for your young athletes and spreading that to others who participate in your tournament. And again, Tim, I'd just like to say congratulations on winning the award. Do you have the award there with you? You could show us?
Yeah, I didn't know if you could see it. I didn't know if you could see it or not, but I thank you very much for this. And I tried to set it beside me so you couldn't see it, but did I not get it?
There we go.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad that got to you, and we appreciate you. And congratulations.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for all your service, and thanks for doing this.
Of course, we're here to serve you, so keep doing what you're doing for your community, and we'll stay here to support you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
I am now being joined by Jacob Bunton from Moberly Parks and Rec Department in Moberly, Missouri. Hi, Jacob. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. So Tim Price is our annual NAYS Coach of the Year award winner. He's a longtime coach in Moberly. He said more than 30 years. and he was nominated by quite a few of his former athletes. You are with the Parks and Rec department staff. You manage the sports leagues and specifically the softball league. Why do you feel that Tim was nominated for this award?
Knowing Tim from the administrative side and dealing with him from a scheduling standpoint, a coaches meeting standpoint, and things like that, assuming Tim's as easy to deal with to his players as he is from my side, I can absolutely understand why he would have been nominated. In my 10 plus years of knowing Tim and dealing with Tim on a daily, weekly basis throughout the summer, I've never met an individual that's easier to deal with, that is willing to work with schedules as busy as everybody is. Tim is always willing to work around schedules. He's always handled rescheduling, anything like that. Tim's always been very, very good at dealing with, and he's always been a joy to talk to when there's been things come up throughout the season. He's never called me up upset. We've always dealt with each other very professionally, and he's just been a very great and easy person to deal with in the 10 plus years that I've known him.
Does that make your job easier as the league administrator?
Absolutely, 100%. When you have 30 plus teams, depending on the year, that's 30 plus head coaches. That's a lot of different personalities. So anytime you can have a coach like Tim Price in your league, it makes it 100% easier and makes it much more enjoyable to deal with coaches like Tim, that when you see his phone number ringing on your phone or you have to call him, that it's going to be a pleasant conversation. So definitely.
And how much do you interact with the parents? Have you heard any comments from the parents on things that they have to say about Tim as a coach?
I don't interact with the parents a whole lot, but I definitely have heard parents talk about Tim. I know some of the parents that have kids actually currently on Tim's team, and there's nothing but good things to say about Tim from them. And the fact that I think it's a testament that Tim does not have any kids anymore in softball leagues. His kids are grown and gone, and he still brings teams into the leagues, and he every year has parents and kids that want to be on his softball team. So I think that's a big testament to what kind of person and coach Tim is.
That's true. Your league format is a little bit unique in that the teams register themselves. So will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we run rec leagues 8U, 10U, and 12U, and then we run, and that's individual registration, and then we run competitive leagues starting at 12U also, 14U, 16U, 18U, and those are team registrations. So Tim every year has a team or two register in the competitive leagues. He's done it in the 10 years that I've been here. So in the last 8 to 10 years, I don't believe his daughter's been in those teams. So, for the last 8 to 10 years, I know Tim has coached teams that he's had no children on. So Tim's always been about the future development of softball, or else there'd be no reason for him to coach if he's not coaching his own kids. So you'll see Tim out giving lessons individually or as a group, always doing something with softball related. So I just think it's a big testament to how Tim is and his love for softball and how he wants to see softball continue to advance and the youth for this area in Moberly, because he just doesn't coach Moberly kids. It's surrounding towns, some kids from surrounding towns. So I think that's just a telltale sign of what parents and coaches parents and children think of Tim to want to be on his teams.
Thank you for sharing that. We always like to hear from the league administrator. We know you deal with all sorts of coaches, parents, and you have struggles throughout the season, but anytime that there's a coach like Tim who can add value to the league, bring a great experience for the kids, that's what it's all about. And we thank you for sharing and keep doing what you're doing in Moberly. We wish you many more coaches like Tim. And
Yes.
thanks for being a NAYS member organization as well, Jacob. So thanks for your
All
time.
right. Yep. Thank you, Kate.